No.
Hey everybody, welcome to Candy Coated Conversations with your girl Candace here. I'm joined up here with Voracious One and someone that is new that look just met him over at Zbanger 2.0 and Zbanger ENT. I'm gonna include both channels because we did both today. Welcome to the stage, Zone Fanfic. Nice to have you here and to have you take part in the conversation. Let me go over here. Always
Thanks
try
for
to
having me.
start by saying hello to anybody that's coming in. Hey, Voracious One, of course, you're up here on the panel. Welcome, Jonathan Hayes. Yes, that was very insightful conversation. It was some crazy conversation. Let's just say that. It was a wild conversation. Welcome, Jacqueline. Hey, Z Bangers here. Hey, Curly Cookie. Hey, Elise. Hey, Tita. Hey, Gangsta Granny. Hey, Gloria. Let's see. Hey, Sharon, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Gold Digger. So, you guys, as you know, look, it has been a wild day with social media and the trending topics and things like that. And honestly, we spent so much time on uh Drake, we didn't get a chance to hit what else is going on in social media. So I want to take a few minutes, just to let people come on in the building. And you know how we do over here. We start and see what's going on in social media and have a little conversation about that before we get to our main topic. And I'm going to put the main topic out there just because I always want you guys to mull it over a little bit before we get to it. So tonight we're going to talk about you've changed. Um, are the people around you wanting to see you right where you're at instead of elevating and growing? Because when you elevate, grow, and have a different mindset, you're not beneficial to them. Anybody ever experienced anything like that on the panel? You decide to
Absolutely.
change up. Have you experienced that, Zone?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So I tend to distance myself away because I see a pattern of narcissistic tendencies within those people. And
Uh-huh.
I tend to categorize, um, and that's typically how I'll piece things together. But absolutely, yes.
Yep. Voracious One, you ever been in that situation?
Yeah,
Your
definitely
things are
have.
getting better for you. You're moving in a good direction and you're happy with the changes you're making in your life. But other people around you are like, oh, you're changed. You didn't used to do, you never told me no before. I'm not going to get too deep in it because I want to save it, for when, we get started. But I just want everybody in the chat, be ready. I want to know, have you dealt with this? What have you done? How did it make you feel? But let's see what's going on in social media today. I'm going to share my screen so we can take a look here. There we go. So we're going to start here. We hop around. Let's see. We're starting with the neighborhood talk, you guys. So, da 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 da. I'm trying to get to something that is halfway decent that we need to talk about. Like some of these people, honestly, you guys, I never even go to their stories because they're really just kind of, yeah. So, but I do want to take a look at this. It says family of slain HBCU student wants Atlanta's 1145 club shut down after they allegedly allowed a firearm inside of a club, resulting in her death. Oh, now this is a sad story. So this is what it looks like with the club put out. It says, here, I'm trying to make it bigger. We at 1145 were profoundly affected by the recent tragic events. Our hearts go out to all those impacted, and we extend our deepest sympathies to the individuals and families who have suffered loss and injury. The safety and well-being of our patrons and staff have always been our paramount concern. To ensure a thorough investigation in cooperation with local law enforcement, we will be closing our doors today. In these challenging times, our commitment to the security and safety of our community has only strengthened. We are dedicated to maintaining an environment where everyone feels secure. We deeply appreciate the strength and support of our community as we work together towards healing and reassurance. Thank you for your understanding and patience as we navigate this difficult period together. So I have a couple questions here. Because we all know that when you're hurting, and of course, if you lose a loved one, you want someone to blame. You want someone to take accountability, for the situation that's occurred. Do you guys feel like this club is responsible? Because I mean, we're all adults here. We've all probably been to a club. So, and not that going to a club and people have been shot up, but we know that things like this happen. And even when a club is taking precautions, if someone is wanting to sneak something, a firearm, into a club, they're going to do it. Some way, somehow or another, they're going to find a way to do it. So at the end of the day, is it the club's responsibility, even if they've taken precautions? What do you guys think?
As a person who's been in like this type of situation, I can say I don't think it's the club responsibility because it's always the person who has the weapon deciding to use it. It has to fall on them always. And a lot of times they do get it, they do sneak it in. Sometimes searching is lax, but it happens. And this is very unfortunate for that to have happened.
I would have to agree with that. Um, it is ultimately depending on the age. I think I think this is where most people would draw the line. Um, Here is basically at the individual level.
Thank you for that. And let me get to the comments. Hey, everybody in the comments. Miss Siobhan, Gangsta Granny. Zone, you up here, correct? K Zone, welcome. Z Banger, Big Bro, Tita Weeda, Miss Katina, Curly Cookie, Go. Voracious One, you're up here. Miss Internet Granny. Thank you guys for transferring over from one house to the next one. Mr. Jonathan Hayes. Okay, I see Candy back.
I do apologize, you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
hear me? Where did you guys leave off? Did you hear any of the story?
Yes. I think Vibe answered. I gave my answer. Essentially, I think we both kind of agreed on the individual level,
Mm-hmm.
holding the individual up to accountability, and then starting from there.
So do you think that if the family has someone to blame for the person that was doing the shooting, if that person got caught, things like that, do you think that they shouldn't be targeting the establishment? Because like I said, they do try to take their precautions most places to keep, any type of firearms and things like that. But just like I said, people will go out of their way to get a firearm in there.
I think in that aspect, I think it's a business's obligation to not only protect themselves but their customers, right? And how they would do that is through do policy and do legal obligations, whether that's cameras or safety features. And so, if they lack those, yes, I do believe there should be some legal ramifications that they could be prosecuted for.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you have things in place, and everything was operating, and that person, intentionally went out of their way, I don't think the club should be liable, because if they've taken, basic steps, because everything can't be prevented. So that's just how I feel about that. But I definitely understand the family being hurt. They want to blame someone. And you know what are you talking about, Banga? Bang is complaining about my colorful background today. I like it. Be quiet.
I think it's a vibe.
Okay.
It's a vibe.
Huh? That's right. It's a vibe all the time. Let me say that. Okay. So let me go back to let's see what else we have going. You know what? Someone in the chat, I don't know if they were just throwing something out there, but when we were over in Z Banger's chat, somebody says, Lil Uzi Vert just came out as bisexual, which I think to myself, I didn't see anything like that. But even if he did, are we surprised if he did?
No, I'm from LA. I'm not. I mean, I'm from California. I won't claim LA, but I'm from California. So I mean, I've seen this all the time.
Right. It's like, dang, are we supposed to be shocked? So let's look at this story right here. I think this is a little interesting, only because everything that's going on with Diddy and everything like that. And so here we have Young Miami is selling some shirts that she says that say the gays on them. So it says Young Miami is donating a portion of proceeds from her Pride merch to TQ. What is the T? Oh, I don't know. Programming wants to make sure the community feels seen and heard. So, it says this seems to be a step in the right direction and a way to give back to the community after past backlash she received for her previous homophobic comments. Young Miami says, in light of gay pride, I wanted to do something for the LGBTQ community, which is a big part of my fan base. Oftentimes I feel they're left out, so I wanted to celebrate and dedicate this collection to them to make sure they feel seen and heard. Now, this is what she's saying here. Here's some of the So this is an apology. She said, my deepest apologies and heart goes out to those who have, it's a typo here, y'all. It's not me, who have that tweet and were offended by that. The City Girls appreciate all of their support, no matter what their sexuality is, she wrote. The comments I made about Haitians, I was wrong and immature to even let my opinion about an individual person be an opinion about an entire culture. Ooh. Sound like she's been putting her foot in her mouth a lot. So let's see.
Candy, if you're sharing, we can't hear you. I mean, we can't see nothing.
You can't see anything? Oh, now that legit was my fault, y'all. Sorry. That legit. I want to show this little thing here. Okay. This is her little commercial, you guys, for her t-shirts.
Visible to bring the boys in. Rule number 2, make sure you leave all boys behind who are not worth your time. And most importantly, rule number 3, make sure you shop all CarishaPlease.com.
Okay, y'all. That's her little for her. I think, y'all, this is my opinion on Young Miami. Leave this girl alone. This girl's out here just trying to make it and feed her family. You know, she really is. Yeah, she was messing with Diddy, but I don't think that's cause for y'all to drag her the way that you're dragging her. Now, unless we get some hard evidence that she has something to do with any type of, what, trafficking or anything to that nature. Other than that, Diddy has dated lots of women. Are we going to drag all of them into the mess and act like they all, like, for some reason, I think just because some people, Carisha is one of these polarizing figures to where either you like her or you don't like her. And so I think to those that don't like her or don't want to see anything good that she brings to the table, it's easy for them to want to drag her into this whole incident with Diddy. But Carisha was just out here thinking that, look, I'm messing with Diddy. She literally made y'all got to realize the age and everything. She is much younger than him, a whole lot of things. She may not have done her investigation. All she knows is that this is Diddy, and he's showering me with gifts. She's a single woman, and she had a relationship with him and she liked him just as many other women have liked him. Why do y'all think everyone's coming down on her so bad? Just because they just don't like her. What do you guys think?
I hate to be the only one talking here. I do have something to say about this, but I'm
It's
gonna let
okay.
anyone else chime in. Okay. First off, I want to say she's a very
ahead.
beautiful woman, right? And hats off to her for for having success. I'm all for that. And I'm never going to shoot anyone down for having success. Me understanding and kind of being around some people in the entertainment industry and seeing how they move and seeing how sophisticated things can get. At the very least, if anything, this Kendrick Lamar and Drake stuff is highlighted for me, is that she could potentially be a cultural liability. And what I mean by that is someone plagued by the dollar. You give someone a check, they're obligated by contract, and there's less of a voice that they have to fight against said contract. And so that's how I kind of look at it from like a point of skepticism. I don't know her personally. I don't really know much from her or who she is. And so I'm just generally looking at it from like a entertainment or entertainer or I guess entertainment point of view. And so, yeah.
Hey, Daniel. Well, hey, Daniel Berry. Now, she is someone, now, mind you, things are, you know what, with these celebrity people, it's never that cut and dry. So, just as you were speaking about money, I know people that Diddy personally and things like that. And I know for a fact that I believe she was getting, Diddy was giving her $200,000 a month for her little allowance, just because she's dating him. So she very much had an arrangement with him, a monetary arrangement with him. So do you think, being that that's the case, that she definitely knows more about his allegations than she's wanted to let on? Because I realize she's trying to distance herself from him. I'm wondering if behind the scenes she's still talking about him. What do y'all think? Tamika?
Yeah, I think she's still talking to him. I think it's smart of her not to be on social media putting it out for our business to know that she's still talking to him, knowing that the charges that may be against him. So what she's doing is playing it in the background. I don't think that she automatically just stopped talking to him. I mean, they seem like they were deep involved into like an entanglement. So yeah, I think she's playing it smart.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was very deep in her entanglement. Yeah, she
yeah,
definitely
like,
was.
she just playing it smart, like she should be doing, playing it smart, keeping quiet. It's not on Instagram, but it's not none of our business for it to be on Instagram.
Right. What about you, Voracious One? What do you think about her? Do you think she knows way more about Diddy's involvement in various things than she's letting on? Hey, Mrs. DeReal.
Hey, Mrs. DeReal. Hey, everybody. Hey, chat. I believe I don't know how to say this. Okay, so does she know more than she's leading on? Yeah, but that's what she's supposed to do. She's not supposed to let you know that she's no more, because it's nobody. Like, if you get into a relationship with Diddy, even if you don't know anything about him, and that's what the quote thing is, before you start dating him. Once you start dating him, you find out everything. He is not a secretive person like that. I mean, he doesn't let us know, but if he feels comfortable, he's letting you know. He's letting everybody know. So she knows, but her salary, that was her job. Whatever she was doing, it was her job. And that's like anybody else who's doing the job. They want to do the best they can. So, and I definitely believe she knows. But
do you guys think that she will continue with her? She had a wildly popular podcast. Do you think that she's going to continue with it now that Diddy is under his thing? I don't know why she wouldn't have started that on her own. Like, why did it have revolt? I think she could have did just as big with it without him. What do you guys think?
I think that. Oh, sorry.
You think they what, Tamika?
Oh, I thought Voracious was talking. That's why I went back on mute. You could go ahead, Voracious.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think we had did the same thing because I heard you and I stopped. No, I think she should keep that up because like that is her form of income. Yeah, did she need Diddy for that?
Yes.
No, she did not. But I just think that's something that she should keep it going because honestly, we won't never know what her status is. So she can like actually just kind of build and get her name dropped. Well, never drop from his, but get her own personality. So we actually just know her as her.
Yeah, like I think she should keep it just so her name could, still be in that algorithm. Like use it for your best successful thing. That's what I like would sorry. That's what she should be doing anyway. Like I mean, she just had that one show with Diddy on it. Everything else didn't even concern like around him. So I think she should still keep it. Now whether she will keep it, I don't think she will keep it because that was something that he was attached to.
Right.
Hey Heidi, hey Miss
Oh
D
my
Rel,
goodness.
hey Daniel, hey everybody that just
Hey,
came
you
in that I
guys.
didn't say hi to.
Now you guys know that oh, what is this right here? I definitely got to take a look. Let me see here. And look, I'm going to read this, but this is hilarious to me because, and this is going back to some Drake stuff. You guys know that that's the topic of the day. But I find it funny that the only allegation that Drake is really addressing is that daughter thing. And this is what's crazy to me. I thought it was wild of him to act like, oh, Kendrick is so off base. I'm not hiding no daughter. Well, you hit a son. So why would you think that we, the public, would think that's something that you would not do? So it says academic says he spoke to Drake directly and he admitted to not knowing where Kendrick got the daughter info from, despite saying in his song that he fed the info to Drake. So here you're coming out being a liar again. This is why everybody is knowing it's thinking that you're lying.
Yeah, I think Kendrick's sad for sure. He's an habitual liar, right? We know
Right.
that. It's consistent with what he says. The man flip flops all the time. If someone made a dissecting Drake video, which is going to come out if it's not on out already, there has been out it's been videos for years, but I think it's
I
pretty
think you
clear
should
that
do it.
I think I don't know if I have the ability to make an impactful video. I appreciate that though, but I think Drake is showing some clear signs of narcissistic tendencies here, which would suggest he's a narcissist.
Mhm.
And again, that comes down to that whole sense of awareness. You can see that in the diss, and you can see that in his messages. He's a narcissist, and that doesn't mean he's good or bad. It means that he has a flaw that is working against him. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I agree with that.
I didn't catch that. What was that? I don't know if my audio is going.
No, I was just making sure you were still there. But no, yeah, it yeah, it's like the one thing that you were steadily addressing, now you actually admit that you don't know where he got. You made a big show that, oh, we told him that, and he said something like, we started to even put a location and everything. So this person said, yo, DJ Wackademics, I guess this is not a DJ Ek fan, really just admitted on stream that Drake and his team had no clue and did not know where the daughter information came from. So Drake feeding K Dot that information is a lie. Then they said Drake lied. Okay, what's this next one? Here it is. This is what he said. Drake responds to Kendrick Lamar, says his people purposely fed Kendrick false info about Drake having an 11-year-old daughter. to see if he'd use it in his diss. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination. But the whole thing, like for instance, if the daughter thing totally is false, the part that gets me is why are you acting like this is a stretch? You hid your son. So why would we think you wouldn't hide a daughter? Because to be quite frank, the way you're moving, your son is by a stripper and it didn't seem like you were that proud about that. Look, next thing you know, we might look, is your daughter by a dog? I don't know what's going on. What the hell?
So, in a way, right? I'm
But
looking at this. Sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I'm bad. Okay, so in a way, I'm kind of looking at this like a battle, a battle rap, right? And it carries a lot of similarities to diss tracks. And so I'm with that in mind. The man went on Twitter saying, "Please find my daughter," laugh emojis, as if to say, I find this daughter, or make the fans believe that Kendrick is just making this up. But in the end, on the Hard Part
Right.
6, he puts this out. So that seems like a clear indication that either one, he doesn't know, or two, he lied, and he lied in that message, which is also an indication the man's a liar. And so I tend to take things like this with a grain of salt, just because he is selling lies, literally. And
He
this is
really
all
is.
added up.
He really is.
Behavior.
So, yeah. Yeah, I just think it's wild that like he acts like he acts like he has such a reputation with everyone that he's beyond reproach, and that I could never do that. Well, you already did. Like, come on now, what are you talking about? You already did.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Okay, now we had a lot of things going on. Now, are you guys following? And we're gonna get into our topic in just a second. But are you guys following that? Christian Combs put out a little diss track towards 50 Cent because he was upset that 50 was basically talking about his dad. Who isn't talking about your daddy?
Exactly.
So it says 50 Cent. Now, why would you say some issue like this when you know the feds are investigating? Is you stupid or is you dumb? Because I guess he put a little line in. Let me see. Nope, not gonna play it. It's music. But I guess he had a line, and we talked about this earlier. I guess he had a line that the feds were searching the wrong house. So was 50's response to him. Is you stupid or is you dumb? Okay, so let's see here. Which, of course, if that's true, yeah. So you know if you come for 50 Cent, you better be ready. So 50 Cent said, "Dang, King Combs, what you told Grace Omarka on that boat, huh? Gave her the puffy juice and that special sauce in it. LOL, boy, oh boy, bad boy for life." So he's talking about the allegations that King Combs is or Christian, I ain't gonna call that boy King, that Christian is following his allegations of saying someone on a boat and is being accused of spiking her drink and things like that. So look, it's slowly coming. The sons are coming. And look, let me show this little cutie since we're on the hot topics, trending topics. There's Bad Baby, showed her little cutie. There's her little cutie face. She's cute, you guys. There we go. And look, that's her as a baby. Spitting image. Spitting image. Okay. All right. So that's enough of this. Let's get to the topic of the night. Because y'all know I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Okay, I want to put it in the chat. Have you guys ever had an issue? Look, Zone, not at all. I welcome participation. I'm just a small little channel. So I love when people come on, they want to talk and participate in the conversation. Okay, so Have you ever been in this type? And this can be, you guys, I would definitely want to know. This can be about anything, you guys, where people, it can be one person. You may have a person, like, say, for instance, you have a neighbor that doesn't have a car, and they always are asking you for a ride, and you always say yes. You always say, yeah, you're nice. And then you say, you know what? This is not benefiting me. This person is asking and taking me, out of my way. I'm not even leaving the house, and I'm leaving the house, find myself just doing things for this person. And then all of a sudden you just start saying no, which is a complete sentence, no explanation needed or anything like that. Yeah, you see this Zone?
Yeah,
Gacy Granny says, Zone, do your thing. You got this.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
So, and then you start saying no because you find like, man, I can't even get my own things done, or I'm don't even have a sense of pride. That person will say you changed because you start doing something that benefited them. It was never beneficial for you, and you could have gone beyond being nice and just being nice and helping someone out to the point where they're taking advantage. But then they'll try to act like you've changed. Have you guys ever dealt with anything like that?
Absolutely. I'm gonna address the question directly, and then I want to kind of mention what someone told me. So
Okay.
yeah, basically, yeah. As, people have told me that I've changed. People have walked up to me, former friends, and they're
Mhm.
like, "You changed." And um, I don't know if it's just because how I was raised, where I'm just like, okay, cool, move on to the next. Um, because ultimately, I'm trying to better me, right, as an individual first. And I have to start with me before I can start with anything after me, whether that's my friends, my family, my community, whoever, right? And so basically, what I was told, my grandmother told me this, is, and I told them a similar story because this is not the first, second, third, this time this has happened. It's happened multiple times for me.
Uh-huh.
And basically, she told me one thing, right? And it always kind of stayed with me. She said, it'll pass, right? Because they're two in their head, right? No, look, you changed, sure, but how have I changed, right? Let's talk about that. If you're just gonna tell me you've changed and you're gonna go with that, that's cool, right? But tell me, how have I changed? Have I changed in a negative way in your eyes? Well, I don't think so. Unless I really have, then help me out. Tell me how I've changed in a negative way. We can start from there. But if we're not gonna address it any further, right, then there's no need to talk about it. It'll pass.
Right. And that's the thing. When you ask them to pinpoint what makes you feel like I've changed, 9 times out of 10, when they say what it is, it's something that it really has nothing to do with you. It's something that you were doing that was beneficial to them that you're no longer doing for them. And so they want to act like you're changing for the worse, or you're acting different, or you acting funny. And it's like, no, I'm not really acting funny. I really was just being nice in the things that I was either doing for you or things like that. But it's time to change. And there's nothing wrong with that. And no one should ever make you feel guilty. Or what about a situation where, hold on, no, you said you had another part that you were going to say, Zone, right? I don't want to take you off track.
No, my bad. The first part was just me saying, yeah, I mean, it's happened to me, and that's how I kind of handled it. And then my advice was what my grandmother told me, right? It'll pass. Essentially, that was the second part.
Okay. Yep, it'll pass. And you know what? Either those people are going to get the changes that you have made, or they really can just get lost. I mean, and I hate to put it like that, but if you're going in a positive direction and anyone is trying to, and you notice that anybody's trying to keep you where you're at, it can be a lot of things going into play with that. Either they're trying to keep you down or keep you in a position that they feel like you should be in, and that you shouldn't be rising. Either it's above them or anything, you know some people do want to keep you there. They don't want you surpassing them. or having other experiences that they don't have an opportunity to do. So you definitely always have to be cognizant of people like that are around you. The people that you surround yourself with should always want you to elevate, because they should be wanting the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever find yourself around someone that you kind of find like, dang, I told somebody I had some good news today, and wow, they didn't say anything. They didn't say a congratulations or an acknowledgement or anything. You know what I mean? Have you ever met someone like that? I have.
Yeah.
Or a friend, or yeah, or a friend. What's been your experience, Tamika? Have you ever experienced something like this where somebody tried to say you're changing, you changed?
Yeah, all the time. Because all the time I grow. So yeah, everybody always tell me that I change, like that I change, and that could be with like changing like a bit of my personality. My husband told me that I change. Oh, I could be vulnerable with y'all actually, because I would say when I hit like my 30s, I don't know if it was like my woman. I don't know what it was, but everything that I liked about myself when I was in like my 20s, I didn't like it when I hit my 30s. But that was part of my growth. And my husband, he didn't know, I guess, how to, let me say it in the right way, because I don't know if he listening, but he didn't know whether I was like being standoffish from him, or whether I was growing from him. So like we like literally had to sit down, and I had to let him know like you like have to learn me all over again, just like I have to know you. Like as time goes on, we just still have to keep on learning each other. So I mean, I don't know, Kendi, I'm always changing, meaning like I'm always changing just for the better.
Mm-hmm. So what did he ever tell you that there were things that you were doing? Like, did he actually say like you're changing or you're different or you're doing things different? So did he ever point anything specific out, or
Yeah, he did.
was
Like
it taking a turn, or did he not like the change, or it just
some of
kind of
the
caught him off
changes he
guard?
didn't like. Some of the changes he didn't like. No, he didn't like some of the changes. Um I don't really want to go into the changes right now, but
Look,
just know he
I'm
just
glad you
didn't
said
like
that, because
some
I
of
was
the
sure about
changes.
to be nosy and ask.
I know
I
you
was
were.
about
That's
to
why I
ask. I'm
caught
glad you
you.
said that. Okay. Okay. So Tita said, okay, let me start here. So Star said people who suffer from false entitlement. Tita said, self change is great when you're doing it for your peace. That's right. That's right. Gold Digger said, can't take everyone with you in your season of change, especially when you're leveling up and those in your circle don't celebrate your growth. Change is progress. Absolutely. Leave it to Gold Digger to always sum it up perfectly. That's right. And that's something, I think that is part of it, because with some people struggle with when they're changing, they think that they can bring everybody with them. And everybody's not ready at the same time that you're ready to make changes. And sometimes that causes conflict, because, you know, you can come, say, for instance, you have a group of friends that you've had all your life, and you're making certain moves and things like that, and it may appear that they're standing still because you guys have different journeys. So it doesn't make one person right or wrong. It's just that when it's time for you to move for you and for you to elevate, you have to know that I have to take this opportunity and not be scared and want to stay where the other people are, just for, and a lot of times people do this. It's kind of a self-sabotage thing, to where you are hindering yourself because of the people that you're with, because they aren't making the same type of moves that you are, and they feel kind of entitled to, you have to deal with that entitlement as well, because some people, whether they're friends, family, they feel entitled when you do make a move, and they feel entitled to the things that you're accomplishing. Like, oh, okay, yeah, my friend told me about this business idea, and they were super excited about it, and they did it. They tried to get me to do it, but yeah, I just blew them off. I didn't even say nothing about that. But now here you is, the business is blowing up, and you feel entitled to. No, you're not entitled to any of that. And Gangsta Granny, you said it. So some people just outgrow each other, and that's not a bad thing. You leave with grace. Gloria said communication is key. You did the right thing when you said that, Heavy. That's right. Communication is key. Okay, Star says as we get older, we can't. Um, yep. So you have to just be aware of all these things. And really just with the show today, I just really do want people to be aware. I want you to be aware of when the people around you aren't growing with you. And that's not, and even me saying that is not a put down, because everybody has a different direction that their life is going to take in turn. So just because you find someone that they may not even be at the place where they want things at the certain time that you want them. That doesn't make them wrong or you right, but you still have to move. If your mind is telling you that you have to make the certain moves for yourself, you do have to move with that. I think so. Is there anything wrong with that? Have any of you guys ever been in a position to where you're doing something and you feel like you're leaving a friend or family member behind, but you know you have to make certain moves for
Yes.
yourself? Has anybody ever been in that predicament? What about you, Heavy? I'm going to go through the line.
Yes, I have. Like, what you mean, like outgrow someone?
Well, just that it can be anything. Like I'm just not into that anymore, and I want to do things differently for my life, you know.
Yeah,
And then you have family that feel like, dang, she thinks she's too good to come over here with us, or she thinks
yeah.
she's too good to go here with us anymore. I mean, is that a thing? People really do
I don't know if
guilt
that's
people into things.
I'm a big advocate for listening to my elders, and unfortunately for me, I think I have some wise folks in my to kind of hear. Even you know, think about me. I'll talk to anyone, whether they're a bum on the street, whoever, as long as they got some piece of wisdom, right? But yes, I have, and to that, I think that it's important that we have to understand like the health reasons behind that, or just be health conscious in that understanding, and because it it can be unhealthy. I'm not sure if I answered your question properly.
No, I get what you're saying. And let me ask you something. If you don't mind, how old are you, Zone?
Me, I'm 30.
Okay, you're 30. So you're a young man. You're not that young where you're you're like at the in between stage. And honestly, we like knowing ages and things like that over here in Z Banger, because we do like to have different opinions at different ages. You know what I mean? Because it's different. Like the things that you could be a 20 something and you're going through things and thinking and have your viewpoints are totally different than when you get 30 or 40 or 50, and so you handle these certain type of situations differently. And you know what, I'm glad to hear you say that you're a young man, that you have some good elders in your corner that give you good advice when you need to lean on them. Everybody isn't that lucky. They really aren't. And that's how you see a lot of young people that are out here scrambling on the right things to do, the right direction to go, because they don't have people that they can turn to for good advice. So I'm happy that you have that, to hear you say that you have that.
Thank you for that. And I want to answer your question now that you kind of say that. I was all what they kind of advised me, what they told me, the little wisdom that they kind of gave me from what I got out of that is, if they're not going to pay your bills, then hey, you gotta take care of yourself.
That's look, right. And look, we all know, look, these bills are these days are outrageous. So for you to have all these opinions and you're not helping pay my bills, yeah, you can kind of keep that on the things that I need to be doing and the way that I should be acting, because there are people that do try to hold that with you. And Have you ever noticed? Have you guys ever had someone in your life where you do ask their opinions about things? And then when you decide to just, okay, I can handle this. I really don't need to round table this. They're upset because they basically, sometimes you have to watch that too, you guys. You have to watch people, or if you have family or friends, to where you usually are open with them and take their advice about certain things. You have to watch them when you get pushback, when you decide, when there's something where I don't really need any assistance. I'm going to work this out myself and do what I want to do in this situation. You have to look at the people that take issue with that. Oh, you didn't, wow, I wouldn't have did that. Or wow, you didn't even tell me that you were doing this. It's like,
I
it's
hate
not
that phrase
right. Because how does that make you feel? It's like, okay, yeah, I'm
because
talking
it's
to you
like,
as
why do I have to tell you anything?
right. I don't
Like,
have to
oh, well, you
discuss
ain't never tell me
everything.
that. Like, why do I have to tell you that? Anything that I tell you is optional anyway, but I don't have to tell you that.
Right, exactly. Let me go up to some of these comments. Okay. So let me see. Okay, so Mrs. DeReal says, unfortunately, I got a few family members and old friends that I've been friends with for years that are like that. A mess, child. And Mr. Real said, yes, they do me like that. Curly Cookie says, everyone grows and learns at different stages. It's up to you to take that step to move forward and go ahead in life. Right. Gloria says, as you get old, you will change. Only a fool wants to say the same. Yes, absolutely. Tita says, I would tell you straight up, you're trying to hold me back because I feel the envy and I can't be put into standing still when I know my own path. If I inspire you, then come on. But if not, see you on the other side. That's right. You have to be strong enough to say, okay, what this person is talking about and their beliefs don't align with mine. And so I'm okay, taking a different direction. Right. So Curly Coco also says, exactly, Tita. If I inspire you, then come on. Don't just sit there and ponder life. Get up and make moves. Exactly. And people will do that, and you present them with a good opportunity and they don't take it. And I'm not even just talking about monetarily. I'm talking about spiritually, if they give you good advice, anything like that. They don't take it, and then you look up and you've progressed and they're standing still in that same space and they're resentful of that, even when they had the same opportunity as you. And that right there, I hate when I see something like that. It's like, dang, it's kind of like how people say we all have the 24 hours. It's just what you do with it. So you can never be mad at someone who's progressing and doing other things. You can't get jealous or mad about that because you had the opportunity to do the same thing and you chose not to. Okay.
I agree with that. I think ultimately this comes down to accountability, holding yourself up to accountability. And
Mhm.
also, one thing that helps me, and this is probably one of the most important things, is I'll listen to something someone says, and I'll think about. I won't exactly get too invested in it before I think about what they just said. I'll ask them, where is that coming from? And then I'll listen to what they're saying. Okay, I understand where that's coming from now. Well, let me tell you where I'm coming from. Basically, this if you're willing to resolve these issues, then we can move forward in another direction. But unless we're on the same page in regards to this particular communication, the situation right here. Otherwise, let me see where that's coming from. Is that coming from you? Most times, I find that's coming from the individual. Maybe some personal things they're going through, or maybe whatever's going in their head. My personal opinion is
Zone Curly Cookie. Love what you said. Curly Cookie said, my favorite word, accountability.
accountability all day.
That's right.
We need that. We need that more than ever in this day and age because I see a lack thereof in pop culture for sure, and we impact, or rather, the hip hop community impacts pop culture. Pop culture influences the world, so it's a trickling effect there, right?
Mhm.
And so we could make accountability trend and then see where that goes. But my to kind of backtrack a little bit, yeah, I definitely I think it's important. I'm forgetting what I was saying, but I'll come back to it at some point.
Okay. So, okay, let me say, okay, here, let me get to a couple of comments here. Let me get to Mrs. DeReal first. So, Mrs. DeReal from Louisiana, and because we're a small state with small towns, with the exception of New Orleans and so forth, I find there tends to be a lot more envy and jealousy in there. One big competition, man. Oh man. And that's the worst. When you have people that are jealous of you, like look, you saying this is having me delve off into something. You guys, I remember it's the rapper Boosie saying that he really can't go back home because when he goes back home there, he feels that if he goes back home or spends any type of length of time there, that he fears for his life there because they are the most envious of him because he got out and made a way. Night, Gloria. Good night. So he said that people in his hometown or he fears the most because that he got ahead and they're basically in the same place, small town. I don't know how big I think Boosie is from Baton Rouge. I think
I think so.
Yeah.
Kevin Gates is, but I think Boosie is too. But he says he fears going to his hometown the most because they are the most envious of his life because he made moves that they didn't or that just weren't destined for them. I like to say it like that because his path is not everybody else's path. There are people that probably are from his town that feel like, oh, I rap better than him. I should be the one, that's there and in the spotlight, a celebrity in the limelight. But that just wasn't your path. And I think too many people don't get that. Hey, Angela. I don't think that people truly understand that if it's not for you, what's for you is going to be for you always, and I know that when you're in a bad space, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow. Like, dang, okay, so nothing good is for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing good is I'm not destined for anything good to be happening to me. That's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but I think that you have to look at things differently because like I said, that was his path. Your path, you may be thinking that you should be a rapper, but maybe that's not your path to be a rapper.
Yeah, but Candy with Boosie, it was a more like they were all affiliated with gangs and drugs allegedly or whatever. And you know what I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
about them being thugs and stuff. So it's like he was supposed to reach back out to the hood. Like even though he's bought property and land and all that stuff like that, they feel, you know what I'm saying, you should have did your city like this or whatever. Even if he only did the minimum of what he said was what he did, but they probably felt that they deserved more because he was there and they know how much dirt he did before he became rich like this. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably another thing why he's hated on, as far as the different gang stuff or whatever that was happening back
Yeah.
then.
I think that's so wrong. Let me read Mrs. DeReal. Mrs. DeReal said, I'm from Louisiana. Oh, no. I read this one. I saw something else. Okay. So Mrs. DeReal said, yes, him and Kevin Gates and NBA Youngboy and a few other smaller rappers are all from Baton Rouge. Ooh, I got to pick your brain a little bit, Zone, since you're up here. Let me stop for a second. What do you think about what's going on with NBA Youngboy?
So I'm not gonna lie. I know he's going to jail, right? I'm not exactly too caught up with his trial stuff.
Oh yeah, he going to jail.
Well, you do know they caught him. He got 63 charges, impersonating a doctor, all sorts of stuff. What are you up on that?
I am not, but that sounds crazy, and I don't know the validity of those claims.
Okay, well the validity of those claims is he got somebody to get a doctor's prescription pad and wrote all of these promethazines in these elderly people's name and been basically selling all the promethazine in that pharmacy for a long time to where he got 63 counts of it.
No, yeah. See,
Now I want you to check that story out, Zone, because that's gonna send you down the rabbit hole. Because how is a man that literally is living in Utah now because you're trying to be good because you're on damn probation and you got this big scam going? It's crazy.
He's basically the supplier of all the lean from this doctor.
so are we looking at him as an individual, or if something bigger is going on here?
No, it's something bigger. He was the supplier of the promethazine.
Okay, so it looks like he was drug trafficking.
Yeah, but using a doctor's legal pad. So that's the DEA stepping in and everything because for one, you taking elderly people's medicine. That's a narcotic. So it's like a whole different, 3 different charges that he can get from this. But it's federal anyway because it's a controlled substance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now he has 63 charges. That he did go to court a couple of days ago. I guess was he $100,000 bail?
I forget what it was, Candy.
Yeah, I'm thinking $100,000 bail. And yeah, so which of course you guys know he got that, so he's gonna get out. But yeah, the man was already on a house arrest and he's doing all of this. So that's crazy. We definitely need to do a deep dive into that whole situation, that whole story. We definitely need to do a deep dive on that. And I wanted to add, I'm gonna read Mrs. DeReal's, but I also want to add. So Boosie has given free concerts, events, gave back with back to school events and so on, but there were quite a few of them hating on that boy so darn bad and sending him threats and all. So and also do you guys know that Boosie is actually building in the midst of building a town?
Oh,
Yes,
he already got a whole town.
aside
Yeah.
from his house,
Yeah.
with his
He
children.
like basically got his own ranch outside his house on all his land.
Look,
whole
I'm gonna
little
find it to
community.
show it to you guys.
houses.
I'm gonna show it, but he's building homes and things like that. He's
Yeah,
trying to
for
have
his
his own
kids.
little town.
Yeah, for his kid. Can y'all hear me? Because I feel like y'all
Yeah.
can't hear me.
Yeah,
I
we
can
can hear
hear
you.
you.
Go ahead,
Also,
Heavy.
only for his kids. Okay. Boosie, I'm gonna try to find something. Boosie builds town. Try to show you guys.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying, Mrs. DeReal. He did so much down there, but it was just, I think it was basically the gangs that was hating on him or whatever, or the people that he did stuff to and stuff like that were basically slandering his name like that and having them threats come towards him because they didn't
You
get
know what?
paid.
There's so many parts on this. I'm gonna wait. And you know what? I'm not gonna show them because Vlad TV will block you. So we're not even gonna show anything from his channel. So yeah, that's what's going on. But I don't know. I just feel like everybody, you guys, this is the thing. Don't let people guilt you. I mean, your movement is your movement. If good things are happening for you, be happy and proud that those things are happening to you. Because you know what? Look, people work hard to earn certain things, be in certain positions, and you have every right to be proud about that. Let me get to I'm sorry, I paused you guys because I saw Star's comments. Star said NBA young boy needs mental health and therapy. She said he was selling scripts. Hey, Andiria, nice you made it. We're about to get out of here any minute, but I'm glad you made it. Yeah, you guys. And thank you, Tita, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem, sis.
Yes, but this has been, we are winding down. And even though I only did my show for an hour, look, y'all know I've been over Banger Show all day. And we had great conversation. Even though, the majority of this is crazy as hell. And I'm hoping that we get some clarity on some things going on. Like Drake, you need to come up to the stage, mister, because you got to answer for this, because this is just too much. It's too much.
Keep
Uh,
going down, 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 down.
There were some connections with Diddy, and I'm not surprised. This is why I don't idolize anyone anymore. Anyone. I'm very skeptical of how the money moves. And I know it's very important for kids to really kind of feel that connection to help their brain develop and grow, right? But I think definitely awareness and understanding, like what's going on, legal obligation, financial obligation, and then call outs are important for sure.
Mhm.
This NBA young boy stuff is unfortunate, and I'm hoping it doesn't lead anyone down the wrong path, just by seeing it and maybe not getting all the information. Is probably never going to be enough information to work out in his favor. I know maybe it will, maybe it won't. Right, but what we can do is kind of what I can do as an individual is to just kind of be aware of what is healthy and what is not healthy. And that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, I definitely. You're not caught up on that story. Catch up on that story, Zone, because I definitely want to know what you think. And I'm so glad you found us today. And thank you, Gold Digger, for gifting a membership. Whoever gets that gifted membership, thank you, and happy to have you here. And definitely appreciate Gold Digger for gifting that today.
Thank
So
you, guys.
Got it.
now let's take a minute. Fan, look, you have a YouTube page?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's just I do like anime reviews, stuff like this. It's just stuff for the kids, for siblings and such. But yep,
Is
check it out.
that the name? Look, so people can find you, because you've been. I love your your contribution to the conversation today here and over at Z Banger. And so if we want to keep in touch with you, you come through anytime. We would love to have you get your thoughts on things. But
I
it's been great meeting up with you today. I love it.
Yes,
I do.
thank you, Zona.
I'm about here right now in a second, but I really appreciate everyone for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come on and speak with both
Of
podcasts.
course.
Of course, anytime. I shared the video in my Discord. Shortly here, going to share it on the channel as well, so that they come over here and check you guys out as well. But again, thank you, and I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.
All
Yes, you
right,
guys.
thank you to the family.
Yep.
Thank
Let me read this final thing from Gold Digger before we get out of here today. Well, no, I'm going to go here. Hold on. Tita said something. Self-change is great when you're doing it for your peace. And Gold Digger said, can't take everyone with you in your season of change, especially when you're. Oh, I think I read. Why is this up here? It's up here. I read that before. I know I
Yeah,
did.
you read both sides.
Okay. Yeah. So Mrs. DeReal said, you're absolutely right, Candy. I remember back in the day, folks were so happy for each other, but not no more though. Yeah, it's they rather be envious when they have, like I said, everybody has the same 24 hours of the day. And you know what? It's something that I've been kind of following myself. I will say this, because I very much will get like I very much will get like, oh no, I'm tired, I don't want to do this. But then I realize, like, you know what, if like, even with this YouTube thing, okay, Candy, if you're lazy, when you're doing stuff for yourself, you work the hardest. So it's like, yeah, I go, I have a full-time job and everything like that, but I still do have to come and show up for myself as well. And yeah, even though, like, I'm not depending on this for money or anything like that, but it is something I'm doing and I'm working. And so you have to put your time in. You definitely have to put the time in if you want to see any results of anything. And like I said, we all have the same 24 hours. So look, that just goes to show, like, hey, look, you look up and you see, oh, Candy didn't blow. Boom. It's because Candy was showing up and coming on. So, we all have the same time. You just got to put that little time aside for yourself. Even if you work, yeah, you may be tired when you get done because I have to deal with this myself, but it doesn't hurt. Just go that extra hour, 2 hours, whatever, to put to yourself for what you want. So you got to do that. So, and they're thanking you for joining us, Zone. And you guys, like I said, we're at Candy Coated Conversations. Look, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So thank you guys for joining me this evening. And like I said, go back, watch the shows, go back to Z Banger, go back 2.0 and ENT. We had great conversation today.
Yes,
And
please
just
go back.
keep up on the
Go back,
shenanigans that's going on
share.
because we are going to be following this heavily. It's so crazy. We're going to be following this heavily. So stay tuned for the next show. And we will see you guys next time here at Candy Coated Conversations. Oh, let me also give you guys the update about this morning. You guys know that I'm doing the Monday morning shows on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You guys, I could not do it this morning. I'm sorry. There will be times when this happens and I have to cancel it, but I really could not do it this morning because many of you guys know that I did have a work training on Saturday, so I didn't have my 2 days off. So, like, literally today, I just was like, I don't care what's going on. I'm not getting up. I'm not going in. I need my 2 days off.
Well,
So,
you made up for it just now. We just did almost 8 hours, so you good.
yes, we've been on for a while, but yeah, I just could not. I just couldn't because I was so tired, And then, of course, I worked on Saturday. Yesterday was Mother's Day, so of course, I didn't get to sleep in and laze around. I was doing things with my family and stuff like that. Had a good time. I hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. But yeah, but nah, I couldn't do it this morning. I was like, I tried it. I tried. When the alarm went off at 7, I was like, okay. I said for a while before I said, no, I can't do it. So sorry guys, there will be times when that happens, but I will put it in the ahead of time like I did this morning in the community tab. So you guys, if you didn't get a chance to like the live today, please give it a like on your way out if you didn't do it on your way in. Like all the YouTubers say, it's free and it doesn't cost you a thing. So I appreciate you and thank you so much. Also, I'm asking for this lately all the time, you guys. A quick little comment. Doesn't have to be anything long and drawn out, but as many comments as you guys put in the chat, you can put the same thing as a comment on the video. And I appreciate you for doing so. Thank you so much. And we will see you guys tomorrow night between 6:30 and 6:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. I usually come on. So you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining me tonight. Bye.
Bye.